Love. That thing everybody's chasing, but few are able to truly find. But indeed, what is love? What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I'll stop. But with Valentine's Day coming up, you're in probably one of two camps. It's either going to be another year with the person who warms your heart, or it's going to be another year warming up that half-eaten Chipotle bowl while you rewatch Friends for the 5th time. Do you feel seen? But on the bright side, there's no shortage of dating content, relationship advice, etc., on the internet for you to consume. Though on the not so bright side, we are constantly reminded that although the dating/relationship niche on the internet provides plenty of opportunity, there is also a danger when you decide to turn your relationship into content. Especially if your relationship is, really fucking cringy.
This is called a love surge. And we do this when one of us has like so much love in our limbs that we can't contain it and feel like we're gonna explode. So Sean is having a love surge right now, and he's gonna wrap around me and shake with the electricity of love until I catch it too and start shaking, and then you explode with a love surge.
It's a game. 911. Officer, right there. Come on in, fella.
Which brings us to Danielle Walter, an Instagram and TikTok influencer whose entire brand is centered around dating. And she has been in the spotlight over the last few weeks because of her hard launch of her relationship. In her bio, she literally describes herself as the brunette Carrie Bradshaw of San Francisco, which is crazy for a couple reasons. One, as you will see, she is definitely not Carrie. And two, is San Francisco really known for its cosmopolitan dating scene?
I'm single and 32, and so I decided I'm gonna rent an apartment in San Francisco.
Listen to me, I don't know who needs to hear this, but the love of your life is not in San Francisco. I mean, unless the partner of your dreams is like a software engineer at Meta, whose entire life's purpose is making the Instagram Reels algorithm 0.3% more addictive. But look, maybe Danielle is into guys whose entire thing is making the world a slightly worse place. So who knows? And in between regular doses of millennial cringe, which is accurate, I'm sorry, she posts a ton of dating content, giving her followers dating advice, and more often than not, bringing them on first and second dates with her. And I mean a lot of dates. Like, she goes on, if I went on this many dates, I would be in a coma.
I am about to get picked up for a date. I am on my way to a first date. I am on my way to a first date. I am reporting live on my way to a first date. Another first date. I am on my way to a first date. I'm really excited because he seems very nice.
You get the point. It's been years of this kind of perpetual dating content, getting super excited about some new guy, a couple of debriefs, and then eventually Danielle moves on to the next one. And she's carved out an extremely large platform doing this. But then something changed at the end of the summer. Danielle met, in her eyes, the one. She posted about this guy that she met at the gym. They went on a couple good dates, as she always does. But then for the first time, we got not just a first and second date TikTok, but also a third, fourth, and dare I say fifth date debrief.
Without a shadow of a doubt, this is my husband.
Well, that's that, folks. I mean, a couple years in, millions of followers later, and on date number 5, she's found the one. Let's wrap it up. And at this point, by the way, people are very supportive. There's not a lot of hate or concern, which is coming, trust me. But not yet. At this stage, people are just genuinely happy for Danielle. But slowly, the cracks start to shine through.
Okay, I'm so nervous.
Yes.
Okay, I am bringing him home to meet my dad and my bonus mom. This is like the moment where I bring my future husband home.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Again, at this point, they've been on 5 dates, which is like one every 6 days. And now he's meeting the parents. Which, look, again, maybe that's the case, okay? But this is not happening in a vacuum. Danielle is a dating influencer who has given out millions of pieces of dating advice before, all of which she is breaking at this point.
You need to know that it takes months to actually get to know someone. No decisions should be made within the first few months, you know what I'm saying?
Agreed. No big decisions should be made within the first couple of months. I guess bringing him home to meet your parents and saying you're gonna get married is not a big decision. Also, they're not even like officially dating at this point. They're just going on dates. As in, a week after he meets her parents is when he officially asks her to be his girlfriend.
I think he's gonna ask me to be his girlfriend today. Let me show you my dress. Because before, I told him we have to wait 3 months. But he's so great. So then I said, we can wait 2 months, so then you can ask me. And I said I wanted to be special. So I think he's taking me back to where we had our first date.
He's taking you back to the place where you had your first date to ask you to be his girlfriend. Again, the first date that was 6 weeks ago. I'm trying not to be too much of an obnoxious asshole here, but this is the part where people start to be like, okay, what are we talking about here? It's at this point that the comment section start to turn on her. Calling him future husband to his face when you've only known him for a month is a lot, girl. You are putting so much power to hurt you in his hands so early. Can't name it, but something's off. It's giving crazy obsessive. And there's a lot of people too who are like, Danielle, we're happy for you. Don't listen to all these jealous single bitches in the comment section. Okay, maybe that's the case. Maybe that's the case. But it is clear that at this point there's a schism, okay, in the Walter fandom, okay? Whatever they call themselves. Let's go with Walter heads. To some Walter heads, this is getting out of control. From their perspective, this lady has been telling them how they need to date for years, has taken them through probably dozens of failed talking stages, and is now like 5 dates in and thinks she's set for life. Something is not adding up. Something is feeling concerning. And at a bare minimum, something is starting to feel a little cringe about this whole too good to be true whirlwind romance. I mean, at the end of the day, Danielle is 32 years old and appears to be tossing out all of her dating rules and substituting them with middle school dating rules in front of your eyes. And unfortunately, a select few Walter heads decided to take things too far and ended up finding out who this guy is, mainly through the information that she shared about him, which was a decent amount, and also the fact that she put engagement rings on her Pinterest board that was named after him. Engagement ring shopping on month 2. But in any event, things were clearly getting overwhelming, so Danielle stopped posting about her relationship, obviously realizing that it was something that was better kept private and that she didn't need, to post or make content about it or to seek the validation of millions of strangers about her relationship, when really it's just about the person that she loves. That's the thing that matters most. And that's it. Just f***ing with you. After taking 3 months off and teasing a huge project that she was working on, a big budget, really important production that she was going to put out, Danielle dropped this bizarre 21-part dating series. Docu-series is what she calls it, where she sits on a park bench and interviews the finally unmasked gentleman. And his name is Brazilian Jesus. Okay, his name is Lucas, but I'm going with Brazilian Jesus. And again, docuseries is an incredibly generous description of what this is, which is 45 minutes worth of some of the most boring TikToks you've ever watched in your life, about a couple that has the chemistry and spice of 2 slices of Wonder Bread, white Wonder Bread to be sure. And to say that this series has gone over poorly would be the understatement of the year. People have issues, man. They have issues with this. For one, there's absolutely a weird sense of superiority that comes across in these TikToks, starting with the fact that she even thought it was necessary to do this. Like, hello, spotlight effect, as if the whole world was waiting on the edge of their seats to get this hard launch about a 3-month-long relationship. Look, I know nobody's gonna believe this because of the way I come across, but genuinely, I do want people to be happy. Part of my brain here is like, yeah, this is so sweet. And then the other part of my brain is like, this is really unhinged and cringe. It's uncringed is what it is. I mean, just the titles of each part of these. How we knew, how he asked, how he feels. I have steaks in my freezer that are older than this relationship. And of course, there's not even really that much information in this 21-part series. Every episode is more or less Danielle just explaining some completely uninteresting aspect of their relationship while he just nods along. Which, like, this is supposed to be a series where she introduces her boyfriend, and for most of it, she does the talking, and he just sits there going like, yeah, babe, I like what you like, and I feel what you feel.
So every month on our month-iversary, some people are gonna be so upset about this, but every month on our month-iversary, Lucas plans something for us without me saying anything. I don't ask at all. He tells me.
Every month on your month-iversary, he plans a date. So what is that, 3 dates so far? And as again, you would need to get a body language expert in here, but like, she's just saying stuff and he's nodding, but you can tell that he's not like necessarily down. Like, listen to her talk about a time that they went kayaking.
And you know what I say is it was very smart, because what better premarital test than putting 2 people in a kayak and seeing how that goes.
Yeah. Look at his face when she says premarital. He's like, yeah, marriage? Yeah, I'll think about it. Episode 19 is on conflict resolution styles, which, how is there conflict on week 12 of a relationship?
You've been putting like, hey, Let's fight for us. And this is so important.
You've known each other for 5 minutes. What is there to fight for? Hey, babe, you know earlier today when you said you wanted to go to Taco Bell, but I wanted to go to Chick-fil-A? Just so you know, I would usually break up with someone who suggests I eat a chalupa, but because it's you, I'm willing to work through this.
Like, I'm totally able to sacrifice, like, small sacrifices, big sacrifices.
Just, yeah, things like not picking up and going surfing whenever you want to anymore is like, and not because I'm making you.
Why can't he go surfing? I don't understand this part. How is it that you're not even living together? By your own admission, you see each other like once or twice a week. How is not surfing a sacrifice he has to make now for this relationship? And the way this series ends is absolutely the icing on the cake.
To the single girl out there that's been watching and waiting for their person, our love story is for you. I started posting dating content as you years ago, and I never want to forget you. I want to encourage you.
Yeah, it's God's gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything makes sense now.
Ooh, brother. Actually, to the single girl out there, or single boy, or single whoever, take this as a lesson. There is actually something worse in life than being single. You could be strapped to a park bench for a 21-part cringe-a-thon with Brazilian Jesus, while a person who's been in a relationship for less time than it takes to age a roll of Parmesan cheese tells you that one day your knight in shining armor will come. Or maybe finding a partner is actually not going to be your greatest accomplishment in life, and your partner will never be the most interesting thing about you. Something that Danielle herself would have told you before she met this guy.
If the most exciting thing in your life is what happens with him, there's more we need to work on than just the situation with him.
The call is coming from inside the house. And look, a lot of people have gone way overboard in Danielle's community just digging up random stuff about this guy, some of which feels mean-spirited or irrelevant, like the fact that he used to drive for Instacart. He's from Brazil, he's a personal trainer and a life coach, which I agree life coach is a red flag. But I mean still, the people who are saying, oh, he's just in this for the money or for a green card, it's like, you just don't know that. You don't have enough information to make that call. And there's no reason to be that much of an asshole when there's plenty of other things that you can make fun of in this situation. Because it's pretty clear from this guy's social media presence that he's one of those dudes that's been trying to get famous for like a while. I don't know how else to frame it. This is a guy who likes looking at himself. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it makes sense why there's a lot of Walter heads who would feel like maybe his intentions are not the purest. Especially when she never lets him talk for himself, and when he does speak, he comes across like a cult leader who just found his first acolyte.
I spent 5 years single, and now I'm in a relationship, and I'm just having to buy flowers to my princess. And one of the greatest reward I have, it's her femininity. And flowers are the seed for this to just blossom. So brothers, we give flowers because we are intelligent. We are cultivating her femininity.
Yeah, I'm taking notes, brother Lucas. Brazilian Jesus putting out free game for all of us. Like, why can't it just be, hey man, you should buy your girlfriend flowers. Girls like flowers. Instead, you have to plant the seeds of her femininity into the bosom of that was ordained by God when you give her the Trader Joe's flower bouquet that puts her in her feminine energy. What are you talking about? Credit where credit's due though. I mean, he adjusted very quickly to his girlfriend's content strategy of giving out relationship advice when you yourself have been single for like 5 years. And of course, there's definitely the religious aspect of this that some people are taking issue with. These two, but definitely Danielle, really referencing God over and over again as like the reason this relationship came together, and like finding a partner who wants like the same kind of traditional gender roles that she does, which again is great. I'm glad you find somebody who wants what you want in a relationship. That's the ideal situation. But is it really a great idea to be like, God put this relationship together? On month 3, like again, doesn't that just put way too much pressure into having to make things work? Not even giving yourself the option to change your mind? And what kind of message does that send to your followers? After years of like, these are the exact rules you have to follow to get your man. Now it's like there's no rules whatsoever. Actually, just God is going to give you the Brazilian life coach of your dreams. Move to San Francisco and seek God is basically the only final 2 pieces of dating advice she has. In any event, this week, Danielle dropped a 15-minute long TikTok reflecting on the docuseries, which I guess is growth in the sense that at least it is a 15-minute long TikTok and not a 15-part docuseries of 1-minute long TikToks. And for her part, she admits that her 21-part series was a misfire, but also that she's getting her bag.
The series in 21 parts only on Instagram is at 39 million, okay? And only 6 out of the 21 videos are under 1 million views. Now, was the heart behind this to get views? No. But this is an objective of this role. So I'm just talking like success to failure. Technically, this is performing.
Well, I mean, you gotta respect that, I guess. And she also generally acknowledged that the whole thing was cringy, that was not her intention, and that also, yes, she is breaking all her own rules.
And I would like to say to all of the creators who are doing really, really well commentating on the docuseries, you're welcome for the content.
Well, thank you for making the content, Danielle, and just know, from the bottom of my heart, you don't have to do it again, okay? You don't. And that's really what this is about. The intentions here were clearly good. Danielle is clearly a good person, but the vibes were off. And there's always going to be this inherent risk of criticism when you bring your relationship online to be judged by millions of people. Something I think about often in my nightmares. Is like those TikTok couple accounts, just page after page of couples making content together, usually comedic stuff, and while it's not for me, there's definitely a market for this. Arwen and Clara, Caleb and Andrea, Megan and Jack, and on and on and on. And it feels like to me the reason why this stuff works is because it's not couples content per se, it's couples making content together. Like, yes, all the themes are fundamentally about dating, but also they're in it together. Like, yes, all the themes are fundamentally about dating, but they're in it together. They're just a couple that likes making things together or is funny together, or maybe they just like making money. I don't know. I'm not in their heads. But what gets people angry is when it's a creator or influencer who was not in a relationship when they were making content and now makes their entire page about their relationship, or when couples try to make content that's real, even though it's clearly fake. Like when Danielle and Brazilian Jesus are slow dancing in the kitchen while their salmon burns. Like, we know you had to set up the phone and ring light for this. Why are we even pretending that this is spur of the moment? For God's sake, somebody think of the salmon. And sometimes some of this realistic content is straight up uncomfortable.
Let's plate up dinner. Distracting me. We're having a jacket potato.
I feel like a predator watching this, dude. Like, get off my For You page. I genuinely feel like it's a feature of influencer fatigue, where people are just tired of seeing brand trips and like new influencer apartments and cars and clothes. And they're also tired of getting force-fed new influencer relationships. Because authenticity and relatability are the currency in the culture right now. And there is something deeply inauthentic about turning your relationship into content for views. So going back to the Walter cinematic universe, I don't think it's jealousy. I don't think it's about the cringe or about how forced this feels. I just think we're at a saturation point where everything in life has been contentified, and a bizarrely self-gratifying 21-part series like this was never going to go over well, even if the relationship itself people liked. And frankly, the advice to never bring your relationship to the internet is valid for everybody, not just content creators. Misery loves company, and I'm not even close to suggesting that there aren't absolutely deranged people in Danielle's comment section, or on other couples pages, or on r/relationship advice, which is a cesspool. Seriously, ask Reddit any question about your relationship. The answer is always to break up. Oh, he left a sock on the floor? He hates you, break up. Oh, she's allergic to peanut butter? She hates nuts. She's a nutphobe. Break up with her. I still remember the orange peel trend on TikTok too, where basically you ask your boyfriend for an orange, and if he peels it for you, then he passes, and if he gives you an unpeeled orange, he fucking hates you. And this trend has come up a million times in a million different forms. There's the ketchup theory. There's 1,000 different ways that TikTok comes up with for you to judge your relationship in the public square. But what if every relationship is different? And as a matter of fact, there are other ways that you can communicate with the person in your life. Like with words, that doesn't require innocent ketchup to be wasted like a serial killer. We're just doing too much nowadays. For the love of God, 2026, can we just all agree? We're not going to broadcast our own relationships on social media, and we're not going to consume too much of other people's relationships on social media. And I don't mean just like pictures. I mean, a 21-part series. Once you start to get, above 10 parts, if you're at part 13, that's when you know you've gone too far. And for anybody out there still looking for love, I'm sure you're going to find it. I don't have any advice for you because I'm very single, but I'm sure you're going to find it. Unless, of course, what you're looking for is Brazilian Jesus. In that case, he's taken.